He was George Washington's fighting general and had his full support. He was a battlefield hero. His performance in taking and holding Fort Ticonderoga, invading Canada, delaying the British advance on Lake Champlain, and at Saratoga made him an invaluable asset to the American cause. Yet Arnold felt that he never received the recognition he deserved. He entered into secret negotiations with the British, agreeing to turn over the U.S. post at West Point in return for money and a command in the British Army. How did a war hero's name become synonymous with the word traitor? Benedict Arnold was born on January 14, 1741, in Norwich, Connecticut. His father was a successful businessman, and Arnold received his early education in private schools. However, after the deaths of 3 of his siblings from yellow fever, his father fell into alcoholism and financial ruin. As a result, Arnold left school and began an apprenticeship with an apothecary. In 1757, at the age of 16, Arnold enlisted in the local militia and joined the fight against the French in upstate New York. 2 years later, his mother succumbed to yellow fever, leaving Arnold to care for his father and sister. His father, devastated by grief, was repeatedly arrested for drunken behavior and passed away in 1761. In 1764, he partnered with merchant Adam Babcock to buy 3 trading ships, establishing lucrative trade routes with the West Indies. Arnold's business flourished, but he grew increasingly frustrated with the British trade restrictions and taxes imposed by the Sugar Act of 1764 and the Stamp Act of 1765. This dissatisfaction led him to join the Sons of Liberty, a secret organization that opposed Parliament's taxing policies. Arnold began his military career as a militia captain. After the battles at Lexington and Concord, he led his company from Connecticut to Boston. On May 10, 1775, he teamed up with frontiersman Ethan Allen to capture Fort Ticonderoga in New York. Later that year, on June 27, 1775, the Continental Congress, partly swayed by Arnold, approved an invasion of Quebec. However, they chose General Philip Schuyler to lead the campaign, bypassing Arnold. Unwilling to be sidelined, Arnold proposed a second, more daring invasion to General George Washington, suggesting an attack through the wilderness. The mission, however, was plagued with problems from the start. Compromised plans, harsh weather, and poor timing led to a disastrous outcome. During the campaign, Arnold sustained a serious leg injury and had to be carried from the battlefield, which ultimately resulted in a humiliating defeat for the American forces. Arnold's military career was marked by both valor and controversy. Despite his bravery in battles such as the Battle of Lake Champlain in 1776 and the Battle of Saratoga in 1777, he became a contentious figure, making many enemies, including some among his superiors. Feeling undervalued and overlooked, Arnold threatened to resign from the Continental Army by the end of 1777. After the British evacuated Philadelphia in the spring of 1778, General George Washington appointed Arnold as the military governor of the city. While stationed in Philadelphia, Benedict Arnold met Peggy Shippen, a young woman 20 years his junior and the daughter of a Loyalist sympathizer. Marrying Peggy boosted Arnold's social standing, but did not improve his finances. He continued to live extravagantly beyond his means, amassing debt and attracting the scrutiny of the Continental Congress. In May 1779, Arnold was brought up on charges and faced a court-martial. Although he was acquitted of most charges, General Washington issued a mild reprimand. Peggy Shippen had met British Major John Andre during the British occupation of Philadelphia and had maintained contact with British officers. This connection proved valuable as Arnold and André began a secret correspondence, often using Peggy as a go-between. By the summer of 1779, Arnold was feeding the British information on American troop positions and supply depot locations. In August 1780, Arnold was given command of West Point, a strategic American fort on the Hudson River. With this new authority, Arnold began to subtly sabotage the fort's defenses by neglecting repairs and depleting supplies. Concurrently, he started moving his personal assets from Connecticut to England, preparing for a possible defection. Arnold and André finally met in person on September 21, 1780, to finalize their plans. However, just days later, André was captured by American forces with incriminating documents that exposed Arnold's role in the scheme to surrender West Point. The evidence was promptly forwarded to General Washington. Upon learning of André's capture, Arnold fled down the Hudson River and defected to the British side. Major André was executed by hanging on October 2, 1780, in Tappan, New York. Despite Washington's efforts to capture Arnold, he managed to escape. Ironically, Arnold's betrayal reinvigorated American morale, as his defection was viewed as a treacherous act that united the Patriots against a common enemy. Arnold soon took up arms for the British. Though he was well compensated, he was never fully trusted and was consistently passed over for significant commands. After hearing of the British defeat at Yorktown, Arnold requested to return to England with his family, which he did in December 1781. By January 1801, Arnold's health had deteriorated significantly. He passed away on June 14, 1801, at the age of 60, and was buried in St. Mary's Church in Battersea, London. In the United States, Benedict Arnold's name has become synonymous with treachery. His actions during the Revolutionary War have rendered his name absent from many monuments commemorating the war and have made it a byword for betrayal, often used to accuse others of similar disloyalty, from John Brown to Jefferson Davis.